Hey,
Hey Jordan, how are you?
good. Happy fall.
Happy fall. I can't believe it's already October.
Oh my goodness. It's so crazy. And today's the quintessential fall day with the cold breeze and the leaves are changing. I'm so mad because I went on a walk at work and I found the most beautiful red leaf. It was huge and it had a red stem. And I was like, oh, I need to show Alyssa that tonight on Books and Bindings. And I left it on my desk.
Oh,
So sorry.
no, that's okay. That just send me a picture because I admire leaves
Yeah.
very much. And the fall is like I love collecting them and pressing them and then looking back like, oh, I forgot I did this and then finding a leaf in my journal like years later.
Mhm.
That's always so I know it is quintessential fall. It's beautiful, kind of makes me want to cozy up. And speaking of cozy things, we have a cozy chat tonight.
So excited. We're going to be talking about our favorite cozy reads. So, books that when you read them, you just get those cozy vibes, the cozy feelings. So, let us know what your cozy books are. We're excited to share what our cozy books are tonight.
Yeah, can't wait to delve in.
What
Um,
are you drinking anything?
Yesterday I had a hot chocolate and a donut, and today it's just been water. But I left my water bottle in the kitchen, so I have nothing with me right now. What about you?
I am drinking an autumnal herbal tea in this little teacup that my coworkers gave to me last year when I got married.
That's
And
so
I don't know if, I don't want to tip it over because it's cold, but it says November on the inside because I got married in November.
so cute. I love that. Next chat, I should bring my really like pretty decorative teacup. Maybe we can drink out of our decorative teacups together.
That's cute. So, Alyssa, what is your first cozy read?
My first cozy read is The Magician's Nephew.
Oh,
It's one of my favorite Narnia books. I I listened, actually, fun fact, the first time I read Narnia was all through audiobook. And if you know me, I like never listen to audiobooks just because my attention span is, I just rather hold the book, but it worked. It was great. Focus on the Family Radio Theater does an amazing job.
wait. That's what I'm listening through right now, the Focus on the Family. Yeah.
Isn't it
I,
so good?
yes, it's so good.
With Douglas Gresham, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Yep.
only thing I don't like about it, oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking over your
No,
your
please.
I don't like the person they used to play Aslan. He sounds so creepy.
Yes, I 100% agree. The way he talks is just weird to me. It's not how Aslan should talk.
No. Like I find myself, he's the character that you should want to be excited to hear when he speaks. And I find myself being like, oh, when's he gonna stop talking whenever he comes on?
Yep, I echo. Yep, same thing. I was like, "Oh, they couldn't have chose a better voice for him." Yeah, I feel the same way.
Anyways,
So yeah, that I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, so this book actually, I read it in its physical form for the first time, with my husband, like a few weeks ago. We've been trying to do Narnia read aloud. So far we've done the first one. We'll be going into The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe soon. But yeah, this is fun.
that's awesome. Yeah, I've never read them either. And my husband and I, on the way to Pittsburgh to visit my sister, we listened to The Magician's Nephew and we loved it. It was really, really good. But Matt said the same thing. Like, why did they choose this guy to play Aslan? Literally the worst actor.
Yeah,
Voice
no,
actor.
literally feel the same exact way.
Oh my goodness. Well, similar vein of the classics, Farmer Boy by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I read this a few weeks ago and I love the way that she writes. It's not, um, I feel like the way that she wrote and the way that her narratives are, you don't read books like that nowadays. Like, what's the plot of this? There isn't really a plot. It's just following a year in the life of a boy on the farm. and it's just so wholesome and sweet, and I have the illustrated edition, so it was really cute coming across, like, these little illustrations every
They're
so
in
often.
color too.
Yeah, there's one really cute, drawing of some cows. I don't know if I can find them now. The only negative that I didn't like were there were some scenes that don't translate well in today's culture, like, there's one scene of a teacher whipping the boys who were bad and, just little things like that, that at the time, I guess, it was a different way of life, but, um, yeah, but besides that, like, if I could just rip those pages out, this is a really, really sweet and cozy book.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever is that the second book in the Little House on the Prairie series?
Yeah, the first one was ooh, this is so bad, I read it so long ago. Oh, Little House in the Big Wood, I think, was the first one, and then Farmer Boy, and then Little House on the Prairie is the 3rd book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't read those yet, but it's just interesting to see how like I feel like when books are written during certain time periods, you can really see how the culture is reflected within, the narrative.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting. As awful as that is, it's like, okay, well, this probably happened, which is, terrifying. But but I'm glad it's cozy.
It makes you wonder what people 100 years from now or 50 years from now will think when they read some of our books. Like, "That was weird," or "Why are they speaking like that?" Or, it just makes you think.
And yeah, it's a really good point. I know. Um, well, kind of in the same vein of like middle grade, I have my next one, which is Nancy Drew. This is my favorite Nancy Drew novel, book three, The Bungalow Mystery. If you read any Nancy Drew book, let it be this one. At least the ones I've read one through, I can't even remember. I think I'm on book 14 or 15 now. This one still remains my top. But I can't remember any past that. So that could change. But yeah, this was great. It's always cozy. It's about, I don't know, finding a bungalow in the woods and like, I don't know. It was just really good. I felt like the stakes were high. Um, yeah, can't go wrong with Nancy Drew.
Awesome. I need to read more of her. I read her a little bit when I was younger, but they're so good.
They
Really
are,
good
and
characters.
so basic and like so like they always end well. And I like how none of them are about a murder. I don't like murder mysteries, but I just like when things are either stolen or like people are missing or I don't know. It's more wholesome,
Yeah.
less creepy. Um, but it still has like the suspense vibes of like, ooh, what's gonna happen? But they're fun.
It's like just enough scariness, not scariness, but just enough suspense to make kids feel like they're, I don't know, reading an older book or something, but it's clean. It's not
Mhm.
violent or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I have the uh not emotional, but like the suspense threshold of a child. So it's best for me when I just stick with these.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Well, similar along the lines of middle grade and young adult books, Anne of Green Gables, it blends into my wall actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, yeah, I recently finished reading this entire series, and I think my top 2 would be Anne's House of Dreams and then Anne of Green Gables. They're just so good. And I love how we can follow Anne growing up. And I think we can all see a little bit of ourselves in Anne. Maybe if not as a kid, but as adult Anne, or I think I see a lot of myself in adult Anne. But this book kicks it all off, the first book in the series, and it's just I mean, it's a classic for a reason. I feel like it's one I'm going to return to time and time again.
Yeah, no, and I'm so glad you read the whole series. I've only read book one and loved it. I only have book one. Um, I don't even know how many there are in the series, like seven or something, maybe
There's 8. Actually, now
eight.
that you mention it, I skipped over, I think it's called Windy Poplars or something like that. I skipped it because it's an
Oh, yeah.
how do you pronounce that?
Epistolary?
Epistolary. Yeah. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of epistolary novels. Like I'll read them, but I'm not drawn to them. And I was like, eh. I can skip this book, which maybe doesn't make me the greatest Anne of Green Gables fan, but I'm like, I don't need this.
That's fine. You know what you like, you know what you don't like. Don't
Yeah.
waste your time, you know?
Hmm.
That's great. Okay. I I definitely should probably read the rest of them because I really enjoyed the first one. So,
Really good.
yeah, maybe I'll put that on my list. I just have so many books. I don't have very
Oh,
limited shelf space, so probably rent them at the library. But um, kind of another middle grade. So, I mean, maybe this is kind of an adult too, but middle grade. Redwall. I
oh,
read this so many years ago. So honestly, I can't even remember. I don't even remember the plot. I don't remember anything except it's about a little mouse. Um, oh my gosh, it's just so good. And I honestly, is it Matt? What is his name? I even forget the mouse's name. That's how bad I am. It's been so long. I think it's Matthias. It's really cute, heroic mice and fighting against maybe rats. Anyways, really good. The series is jumbo. I have not read all of them. I've only read book one and maybe parts of book two. But really cute if you like talking animals.
that's really sweet. Let's see. I'm trying to, whatever book you share, I try to match the theme to it. This is the closest one I have to that because there's an animal on the front.
Oh, yes.
Devotions by Mary Oliver. This is so, so good. I'm not the biggest poetry fan. I think we've talked about this before on Books and Bindings. I enjoy Emily Dickinson, um, and Mary Oliver. That's basically it. But she writes a lot about nature and reflections on her faith and nature. And it's just so inspiring. And yeah, I feel like this is a compilation. I think that's the right word to use.
Mhm.
Um, of some of her best poems from all of her works. And it's so, so good. Highly recommend.
That's on my wish list, I think, on Amazon. I ever since you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, because I love poetry and I love nature, and I feel
Mm.
like I'm gonna love her. So I can't wait to get my hands on that.
And just even the way that she words certain things, I'm like, oh, why did I never think to word something like that? Or how did she even imagine that phrase to describe a puppy's paw prints in the snow? Like it's just so beautiful.
Oh man, okay. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that when I get the chance. Um, this is slightly different, and we haven't really talked about this genre, I guess, but this is a fairy tale. This is just simply Ella. I've mentioned Jesslyn Stewart Peasley a lot, I think, on my Bookstagram, maybe. But this is a Cinderella retelling, and it's one of my favorites, probably because it's just so simple and sweet and feels very like yeah, it's just so good. And there's a follow-up book called Ella's Will, which is from the male character's perspective. So it's the same story, but from the male character's perspective, which
Whoa.
is so unique. Um, so it's like it's beautiful that you get to literally relive the story twice, but it's like fascinating from different perspectives. And it's a very sweet, clean romance. And I love fairy tales. I love happily ever after. So it's just a cozy read. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so fun. On the same vein of magic, so this book I got as an advanced copy a few months ago in the middle of Hickory Lane, and I loved it so much that I recently bought another book by her. What is it called? Midnight at Blackbird Cove or something like that. But it's really neat because it's I guess you would describe it as magical realism.
Okay.
So she weaves in an element of magic into just seemingly everyday events, I guess. Like it almost stumbles upon the plot in a way that you're not expecting, but it adds so much richness to the plot.
Mhm.
I don't want to give away anything in this, but basically, this girl, I believe her name, I don't know, this is so bad. I read it a few months ago and I don't remember the main character's name, but she gets invited to live with her estranged grandmother, and the girl is just healing from a broken family and trying to get herself on the right feet and or on the right track. And um there ends up being a lot of, it kind of reminds me of like The History of Love by Nicole Krauss, or oh, what's another book that kind of weaves in, oh, or like The Nightingale by Kristen
Oh,
Hanna,
yeah.
weaving in different generations and eventually their stories come
Mm.
together. It's so well written, and it actually kind of reminds me of like a more modern day Steel Magnolias. I don't know if you've ever watched that movie
No, but I've
with
heard of it.
Dolly Parton and Julia Roberts. It's so good. Yeah, I highly recommend. If you, I wouldn't call this a beach read, but it's not super light hearted, but it has that element of lightheartedness to it, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
That sounds really good. Who's the author for that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I said it. It's In the Middle of Hickory Lane by Heather Weber.
Heather Weber. Okay. I've never read anything by her, so I'll have to keep her in
I
mind.
think you'd enjoy her.
It sounds like I would. This story, I guess, in connection with yours, um, has to do with history. I think that's the connection. The next one is, yeah, it's middle grade, so it doesn't really connect so much, but Winnie's Great War. I've mentioned this once or twice already. This is probably one of my new all-time favorite middle grade reads now. It's the backstory of Winnie the Pooh, which
Oh,
is like real life Winnie. Winnie's a real bear, and Winnie went to war. And so there's actual pictures in the back. It's hard to see, but of the bear with the guy who's a veterinarian, and he took her in, and she became like a mascot for their infantry. And it's just so touching. I cried at the beginning, I cried at the end. I mean, it doesn't take a lot for me to cry, but oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. And I've recommended it to so many people already. If any book that I recommend from this stack, it's definitely okay, there's a lot of good ones, but definitely this one.
oh, I need to add that to my wish list. When did it come out?
Let me see. Um, yeah, Jordan, I think you'd really like it. Just blending history and middle grade, I feel like it would be right up your alley. Um, why can't I? Oh, 2018.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll add it to my wish list.
Oh, good.
Okay, so the connecting tie. Uh,
I know, like I didn't realize we were doing this.
well, okay, so real life photographs. So this one is kind of out of left field, but the reason why I chose it is because, okay, I'll just share it. It's Whiskey in a Teacup by Reese Witherspoon. It's a cookbook, but also part of her family history that she combines into one. So the whole idea is like combining, actually, it says it on the back. My grandmother Dorothea always said that it was a combination of beauty and strength that made Southern women whiskey in a teacup. And so it's so beautiful. Like the inside of the book, it just looks so Southern and sweet, and really beautiful pictures on every single page. I also just love Reese Witherspoon. She can do no wrong. Um,
She's she's pretty spunky and fun.
yeah, I like her a lot, but I love memoirs too. So I like that this gave a lot of like pictures of her grandparents and of her with her grandparents growing up, and how they inspired her with her recipes and her home design and how she raises her kids and things like that. So she intersperses, I'm trying to find a picture right now as an example. But yeah, she has like cornbread chili pie. It's all Southern cooking. She includes like pictures of mementos from her grandmother. It's just a really sweet read. So I have a soft spot with my grandmother who passed away a few years ago. So reading this just feels like home in a lot of ways.
That's so sweet. It's so special. I love that. Um, okay, so I guess my connection with this is this book also has a lot of, well, it's set in America and kind of has that back and forth of like history as well. But you've read this one.
Oh, yeah, I did. That was
Yeah,
great.
Whose Waves These Are by Amanda Dykes. Um, this is just a very comforting, comfy read. Maybe it's because it's set in a coastal town and I love anything to do with the ocean. Um, and just like the storyline is just beautiful. And I think Set the Stars Alight is still my favorite, but this is a very close second. I don't know, something about this book just really touched all those places for me. So yeah, highly recommend this one. I know Jordan, you've already read it, which is great. But yeah, just really, yeah, it's you have to read it to understand. It's just so good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And actually, you got me thinking, I remembered. So you have an announcement to make. You just launched an exciting business. And the reason why I thought of that is because well, actually, I'll let you share. I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we interrupted this book this book showing program to announce that I am now taking clients for cover design. And yeah, so it's been really fun. I know Jordan, the reason why you said that was because I made a mock-up cover for one of Amanda Dykes' short stories. I didn't realize that it already had a cover. On Goodreads, it doesn't. So that's why I was like, oh, I'll make one. She doesn't have to use it, of course, but I'll just whatever, make one. And come to find out it already does exist, but it's like in a PDF document. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's been so fun. I love it. Great way to be more creative and to grow my craft. And yeah, so I look forward to hopefully many years of designing covers for people.
And the ones that you've shown me and the ones that are featured on your website are really beautiful. How can people see some of your what's the word? Gallery? Is that the word?
Yeah, gallery portfolio, it's kind of the
Oh
same,
yeah.
like the same thing. Yeah, if you go to my website, we can always link it below the video. If you're interested, it's also on any social media platforms. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, my website is linked there. But I have a whole page dedicated to cover design. You can scroll down, you can see all the covers I've made, some pre-mades that if you're interested, just swapping out your title and name for, and some minor tweaks and adjustments. That's always an option as well. So yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'm really proud of you. It's an exciting adventure.
Started.
And on the wave of cover design, this actually makes sense because I chose this book. Well, okay, I'll just show it. The Life-Giving Home by Sally and Sarah Clarkson. This is one of my all-time favorite covers of all time. It screams hominess. And the whole
Beautiful.
idea of this book is it breaks it up by month. So there's about 12 chapters, and it's all about hospitality and how to cultivate hospitality in your home. So, for example, let me go to the table of contents. January is rhythms, routines, and rituals. February is growing lifelong relationships. March is finding beauty in your own backyard. So just encouraging you to slow down and to see what the Lord has given you. It's a Christian book written by Christian authors. Um, and I really enjoyed this. I think it's easy to think of hospitality in one way, like, oh, I'm going to clean my house and have people over for dinner. But hospitality is more of a culture that affects every single aspect of your life and what you bring into your home and what surrounds your home. So I recommend this if you are wanting to cultivate hospitality in your lives more.
Yeah, actually, I think I'd want to get my hands on that because I do love being like having people over and hosting and just all that stuff. And there is something so cozy and comforting about making your house a home and just yeah, all of that entails. I feel like that would be a good one for me to read. I like that recommendation. I don't know how this one connects to that.
Okay.
This like really doesn't. Well, there's food on that cover, and I know that these characters in this book like to eat food, so I'm just gonna go with that. This is The Wind in the Willows
Oh,
by Kenneth Graham. I own like 6 copies of this book,
oh my goodness.
all all with different illustrators and stuff. So it's one of my favorite classics. This one also is illustrated. It's just so cute. You see like mole and I think rat and toad and Yeah, it's just sweet, very sweet, and it feels very cozy. Um, just with the adventures that they go on, their friendships, and um, I think if I remember, some of this takes place in winter. I can't honestly, it's been a long time. I can't remember, but yeah, it's sweet. I enjoy it. And so it's cute. Anything with woodland creatures makes me feel
Hmm.
extra cozy.
You've recommended that to me a few times, and I want to add that to my wish list too. It sounds really cute.
Yeah, it is cute. It's definitely it definitely reads like a classic rather than like a children's story more so.
Okay.
Um, so and I think you might appreciate that, but it's also it's witty and strange, but cute and sweet at the same time.
That's really sweet. Well, I don't have any more cozy books. Those were my six, so you take it away.
I only have three more left, so
Okay.
hopefully hopefully it won't be too much. But um, so this is another one. I really wanted to recommend this one because I feel like not many people talk about this. It's Tum Tum and Nutmeg, and they're literally so cute. Um, I love mice. I just think they're just so adorable, and they're illustrated. It's illustrated. You know, he gets to see cute little pictures of mice
Oh,
dressed in clothes. And so these are just like mice that go on adventures, or I think they live in a cupboard in a house, or like in the wall somewhere, and they have to like evade humans and just how like they live their lives. It's just so cute and cozy. So this is the Adventures Beyond Nutmouse Hall, and there's a book too. This is like actually a bunch of you. If you look on Goodreads, um, this is books one, two, and three. Tum Tum and Nutmeg, The Great Escape, and The Pirate's Treasure, and it's put into like this compilation. And then book two, I think Rose Cottage has three more stories in it. But anyways, if you like milk crate, you like
oh,
I think you might find this cute.
I love their names too.
Yeah,
That's really precious.
Tum and Nutmeg. I think yeah, they're really cute. Okay, I only have two more, so I'll be quick. This is a great series if you like historical romance. There's three in the series. They're called Tales from Ivy Hill. It's by Julie Klassen. This is the first one. And I just love the slow buildup of everything. It's just you feel like you're immersed in their stories. Um, yeah, it feels just like a small, cozy community. I really enjoyed these. And there's also a Christmas one. I forget what it's called, an Ivy Hill Christmas. I
Okay.
haven't read that yet, but I'm hoping to this Christmas. And yeah, I highly recommend this series. Sweet, clean romance, great characters. Yeah, I don't know. I really like that.
Oh, that's nice.
And last but not least is Sherlock Holmes. And this is one of my favorite editions of some stories. I don't have all of them in here. I do have the whole set though. But this is just like a separate, and it has A Scandal in Bohemia, The Red-Headed League, The Five Orange Pips, The Blue Carbuncle, The Speckled Band, The Barrel Coronet, and The Hound of the Baskervilles. Um, this I read it within like a few days. It's so good, cozy mysteries, you know. Um, yeah, so those are all of mine.
That's awesome. This was one of my favorite chats.
Yeah, mine too. I know. There's something so special about books that bring coziness and
Yeah.
comfort.
Yeah. Tell us what your favorite cozy reads are below, and we will check them out.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I'm really interested to see because everyone has a different definition of cozy,
Yep.
you know, especially during this time of year where I feel like a lot of people like spooky cozy, you know.
That's not.
Um, same. That's not me either. So fair warning, everyone, if you recommend spooky cozies, we might not we might not gravitate towards those. But still you can still mention them below.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with. So and also let us know if any of our books that we said have been ones that you've read and you also think are cozy, because that'd be pretty cool. We share the same.
I'm surprised that you didn't say Lord of the Rings as one of
Yeah,
your cozy reads.
I feel like I talk about Lord of the Rings all the time. I feel like Lord, okay, yeah, I'll make a caveat here. Lord of the Rings falls into every category for me. Favorite, cozy, inspiring, fantasy, real life. No, I'm just kidding. But literally just it hits all the marks for me.
Mhm.
And I honestly I could have added so many more cozy reads for sure, but I tried to pick ones that I might not have mentioned as much. But yeah, that's a good point. I by default, Lord of the Rings falls into this category.
So the next chat, we have a special guest who will be joining us. Should we give them some clues about who this person is?
I think that'd be fun. Sure.
Okay.
You're really good at clue giving. I'm trying to think of what I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
This person is vibrant.
Yes. Um, oh, I feel like the two top things that I want to say will give her away.
It's a
She,
girl.
yes. She just came out with a, oh, I don't even know if I can say that. How would,
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We don't want to.
um, oh,
She's
she,
an incredible human.
yes, I'm excited. I've actually never met her over Zoom or in person, but she has become one of my closest Bookstagram friends, and I'm so excited to talk with her next week.
Same. I'm
I
so
have 30 pages left in her book. So
30 or 3? 30.
30. Yeah, I'm right at the end.
Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, I can't wait to hear all your thoughts on it. Um, but yeah, so I hope maybe that might be enough. Maybe that's enough for people to be like, "Oh, interesting."
She just
So,
came out of the book. She's really vibrant
mhm.
and she's a she.
She is a she. Yep. And she's incredible. And Jordan will meet her for the first time.
I'm
And we're going to be interviewing her soon. So stay tuned.
Well, thanks, Alissa. This was fun as always.
I echo the same thing. Yes, I always look forward to it.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.